Last week we began our study of the Trinity Untangled, understanding the Trinity. And last week was kind of an introduction or a preface to the thing. Tonight we're going to start the study proper. And as I was reviewing these notes, I forgot how excited I get about this subject. It's just so important and so dear to my heart. So we're just going to jump right in. We're going to go for about 20, 25 minutes, and then we'll share communion together. What I'm about to talk about for the next several weeks is what the church has historically called a mystery. Now, in Christian terms, in biblical terms, theological terms, mystery doesn't mean the same thing as it does on TV. An Agatha Christie murder mystery, an Alfred Hitchcock mystery. That's something that you watch and you don't understand what's going on, or you don't get who done it until the end. The thing is, when Jesus uses the word, and he only uses it once, it doesn't mean the same thing. The Greek word is mysterion. That's where we get our word mystery. He says in Matthew chapter 13, verse 11, "To you has been given to know the secrets or the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given." So for Jesus and in Greek, the idea behind a mystery, a mysterion, is not a puzzle you have to figure out. It has to do with something that was previously unknown and now it's been shown to you. It's been revealed to you. Here's what St. Paul says in somewhere, St. Paul, here it is, 1 Corinthians 15:51. He says, "Behold, I tell you a mystery." Now, Paul's not saying, I've got a secret and you can't know it. He's saying, I'm revealing something to you. We got to get that down. Mystery, biblically speaking, is something that has been revealed. Here's what Paul said, 1 Corinthians 15:51. "Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed." Sidebar, I think that one of the cutest church signs I've ever seen was in a church nursery where that verse was written above the doors. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. I thought that was just cute. So the idea behind mystery in the biblical sense is it's something that is unknowable on our own initiative, but it's something that has been revealed to us. So, mystery and revelation are tied in hand. Now, as the church develops, and I'm going to stop talking about this word in just a minute, but I'm laying a foundation here. As the church develops, as church history unfolds, there's something else called the mysteries, and that's the sacraments. The sacraments are called the mysteries. And the reason they're called mysterion or mysteries is because they are a revelation. They come from heaven bringing us God, bringing us grace, bringing us salvation, bringing us the goodness of God. Something that we couldn't figure out for ourselves that God chooses to reveal. So I'm going to give you my favorite definition of the word mystery, mysterion. And it is, that's not mine, but it's something I came across. Mystery is something that cannot be put into words. And if you've ever had a glimpse or tried to lay hold of some powerful experience, some spiritual experience, but that you just couldn't quite put it into words. You had some kind of an encounter, but you couldn't exactly express it. And even though you tried, it just didn't do the job. That's mystery. You're laying hold of mystery there. With mystery, you can't explain it. You just have to embrace it. I'm going to say that one more time. With mystery, sacraments, other mysteries, biblically, you can't explain it. You have to just embrace it. All of theology, when it comes down to it, at the bottom, all of theology is trying to put into words that which cannot be put into words. Trying to explain a mystery. And you can't do it. And whoever tries to do it is going to be completely successful. Some do better than others, but none of us can ultimately put into words the mystery of God, the mystery of the sacraments, the mystery of life. We can't put that into words. And yet, we're bound to try. We can't not try. We have to talk about it. We have to discuss it. We have to wrestle about it. We have to use words. Who is God? Who in the world is God? That was the question Moses asked in Exodus when he's tending sheep in the desert and he sees a burning scrub brush and he walks over to it and the angel of the Lord speaks to him and says, take your shoes off. You're on holy ground. You're on unique ground. Take your shoes off. And his question, who are you? And that's the question that humanity asks. Who is God? Who is he? What's he like? What's he all about? We want to know who someone is, especially if we love them. Candace and I yesterday celebrated 1 year of marriage, 1 year of wedded bliss. And it literally has been bliss for this past year. We have not had I told somebody yesterday, we haven't had a single fight in a whole year. And she said, we haven't even had an argument in a year. Now, I'm not sure tomorrow that might all disappear, but so far it's been wedded bliss. But here's the deal. If you love someone, you want to get to know them better. You want to get to know them more. You want to know what makes them tick, what turns them on, what they like, what they don't like, what they enjoy. If we love God, we're not just going to say, well, there's this nebulous entity out there that I don't know what it is, but it exists. If we love God, we're going to be drawn to know him and to know him more and more and more all throughout our lives. So, all of that to say, what we're about to delve into is a mystery. Everything I'm going to say over the next 5 or 6 weeks is inadequate. It does not do the job of answering the questions. But I am hoping to roll back the curtain a little bit and all of us get a glimpse of the heavenly, a glimpse of the beauty of God. So, let me begin by saying, all my life, I hate jigsaw puzzles. Do not ever give me a jigsaw puzzle. Don't give me a jigsaw puzzle thinking you'll be cute and I'll laugh and I'll think, that's a cute little joke. I hate jigsaw puzzles. If you give me a jigsaw puzzle, I'll either throw it away or I'll give it away. I don't want it. I hate puzzles. I mean, who in their right mind would take a perfectly good picture, painting, or photograph, frameable, cut it up into 500 crazy pieces, and then say, put it together? Isn't that fun? No, I hate puzzles. But I love puzzling stories and puzzling movies. Puzzling short. O. Henry, one of my favorite authors. Guy de Maupassant from France, the O. Henry of France. Twist, turning, and there's a story and you're tracking along and all of a sudden at the end you go, I didn't see that coming. I love a good movie like that too. A mystery that, I didn't see that coming. So, when I teach this seminar, and I've taught it dozens of times around the world, when I teach this seminar, as I do in a lot of teaching, just my teaching style, I save the punchline for the end. And I saw, if you've been around long, you will notice this. I will sometimes put disparate threads together. I'll teach a session on this, and I'll teach a session on this, and then I'll teach a session on this, and then at the end I'll kind of wind them all together and show how they connect. Oh, that's where that leads us. So when I teach this seminar, I usually save the aha for the end. I'm not going to in this session, in these sessions. I'm going to tell you the punchline tonight. I'm going to tell you in just a minute the point of this whole seminar, this whole study, the whole book. I'm going to give the punchline away. Everything I have to say about God, I'm going to say in the next few minutes. You don't have to come back anymore if you don't want to for the rest of this series. But I promise if you do, it's going to enhance. It's going to turn the bulb up. It's going to help you see things in a deeper, more beautiful, more wonderful sense than you've seen before, or than you will just see in this one session tonight. So, I'm going to cut to the chase. Here it is. Are you ready? Here's the point of this entire series. There is only one God. And he is manifest to us in God the Son. That's all. You can go now. That's the end of that's the point. That's the point I'm going to be unfolding. That's the mystery I'm going to be unpacking over the next several weeks. And I'm going to unpack it a little bit right now. Just 3 very quick points. Number 1, there is only one God. Period. They came to Jesus and said, what's the greatest commandment? And he quotes Deuteronomy 6:4, the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with everything in you. And the second is like unto it, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, Jesus says. Simply put, Christians do not believe in thousands of gods or hundreds of gods or even 3 gods. Christians believe in one God, period, end of discussion. And this is the core truth of our faith. Whatever else we say about the Godhead, about the Trinity, about the divine nature, the core truth is that there's only one God. If we say something different from that, what we are saying is not the Christian faith. There's only one God. So, some Choctaw Indian, some Aztec, some Cherokee in 500 BC has an encounter with God. They've had an encounter with the one true God. Some African tribesman 4,000 years ago has an encounter with God. Somebody in Far Asia 10,000 years ago has an encounter with God. Then they've had an encounter with the one true God. Anyone who has ever encountered God, ever, if they've encountered God, they have encountered the one true God. Period. There's one God. Secondly, that one God this is important. That one God reveals himself strictly and only in what we call God the Son. So that Asian, that Cherokee, that Kickapoo, or whatever I said, that African, that whoever encountered God 500, 1,000, 10,000 years ago, they've encountered God through God the Son. And God the Son became flesh in the person of Jesus Christ in the womb of the Virgin Mary. I'm going to read you a text from John. You know it, probably by memory. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Verse 14, and the Word became flesh and lived among us. Verse 18, no one has ever seen God, but the only God who is at the Father's side has made him known. What? We're going to unpack that in the coming weeks. But what John says is The Word is God. We've said there's one God. There's one God. There's not two. There's not three. There's not 500. There's not 1,000, 10,000, myriad. There's one God. And that one God, John says, is the Word. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. And the Word was God. Think of it like this. The Word is the projected, manifested, published, brought forth aspect of God. The Word is the revelation of the invisible God. Secondly, the Word became flesh. The one who reveals God to anyone that God's ever been revealed to became flesh in the womb of a young virgin Jewish girl named Mary. He was born. He lived, he suffered, he died, he rose again, he ascended into the heavenly realm. Jesus is the Word become flesh. And so, Jesus is the one true God. Final thing. John said, no one has ever seen the Father, but through the Word, the Father has revealed himself to us. The Word is not the Bible. The Word is God making himself known. The Logos. God manifesting himself. The Word is simply the revelation of God himself. So we can say it almost oversimplistically. No one has ever seen the invisible God except by God's own self-revelation. And we call that the Word. So, I'm done. Anybody that's ever seen God has seen the Word. Anyone who's ever heard God has heard the Word. Anyone who's ever sensed God has sensed the Word. God the Father revealing himself through the Son. Not another being, not another entity, but that manifest presence of God himself. And that Word joined himself, not for 33 years, but forever, to our humanity, to creation itself. That, my friends, is what we are going to unpack over the next several weeks, and I hope this has been at least enough of an appetizer served to make you want to come back and have the main course. God bless you.
Amen.